Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. Today I'm going to do a very fun video idea that I first saw on Chandler Ainsley's channel, and I'm going to link that video and her channel down below in the description box if you want to check it out, because I thought it was so much fun. And I decided to do one of my own as well, so I can show you the books that I would have on my list. I find that her channel is so amazing. She's such an amazing content creator. She is so creative, and she always kind of thinks of new ideas to present into the booktube universe, and she is so eloquent when she presents her opinions. She may not like very like hyped books a lot of the times, and she'll present why she dislikes them, or she may like a book that I may dislike, but then I would always agree with her motivations because she presents her opinion so well. So I really respect that in her, and I also look forward always to her content. Whenever she releases a video, I'm one of the first to watch because I just love her videos so much. So yeah, when I saw that video of hers, I definitely wanted to create of my own, so all the credit goes out to her. I don't know if she's the original creator of this idea, but if she is, all the credit to her. The video is if I were to only take 20 books with me to like a deserted island, or if I would be moving somewhere where I can only take 20 books with me, which books would I take? And this is a list that's been in the making since like a month ago. When I saw that video, I was like, okay, so which books do I take with me? I put some books on there, then I removed them, then I replaced them with new books that I've just recently read, and I'm like, okay, so am I happy with this list? And I think that I am. So I'm going to let you know which books I have on my list. So all the books that I included in this list are really personal preferences of mine. I do understand that when I was going through them, a lot of these books may be similar to each other in terms of maybe tropes, or maybe the emotionality within the plot of these books, but those are just the kinds of books that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know which ones they are. I haven't really ordered them in any kind of order because I cannot pick a favorite out of them. So I'm just going to go with the list that I've made, and I'm going to let you know why I've picked them. The first book is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I think I've mentioned this book in every single video that I can mention this book, so you've probably already heard me talking about this book quite a lot already. It was one of my favorite books of last year, and I think that this is the kind of book that I would want to take with me because it gives me all the right feels. The book starts off with a heroine who has her life not in order. Like everything has kind of crumbled around her because her relationship is going to strand or is just stranded, but she's still having to deal with her ex a lot. And then her family doesn't agree that she has split up with her ex, and she meets someone who takes her out of that reality. And in the process of her falling in love with this guy, we also have an age gap, by the way, within this a situation where she's the older woman, he's the younger man. There's a lot of things going on that really felt realistic to me. Like the conflicts within the book felt like they were realistic as to why they couldn't get together right away. So yeah, even though I do remember someone saying that I think that this is a closed door romance, I didn't even notice that, to be honest, because honestly, if a book has such an amazing chemistry between the characters, such an amazing connection between them, I don't even always need the spice in the book. It just leaves me swooning and finding that the romantic connection between them is enough for me. So this is the type of book that I would want to take with me because it doesn't rely on the spice. It really relies on the connection between the two characters, and I found that it was really romantic and very swoony, so I definitely want to take that one with me. Now, the next one is Brightside by Kim Holden. This actually isn't considered a romance because it doesn't have a conventional happy ending. And even though it doesn't have a conventional happy ending, it's still one of my all-time favorite books. It deals with a heroine who has a terminal illness, but she is like a bright ray of sunshine. She kind of wants to make the best of the time that she has left on Earth. So she she just has an amazing journey in that short amount of time that she still has left. So this book has made me feel so many different emotions. It has made me emotional in different respects. So not only obviously knowing that there's not going to be a happily ever after for our heroine, but still seeing how she kind of committed to showing other people that there is a lot to live for in life and that they should live it because they have the opportunity to do so. That just made me feel so many good emotions, and I love that book. So I definitely want to take that one with me. Then another one, which is a favorite of mine as of recently, I finished it last month and it's probably going to be my favorite book of this year. It's The Right Move by Liz Mumford. Another book that is so amazingly romantic, and it's not romantic in grand gestures kind of way, but really in the hero showing the heroine that she matters in the littlest, smallest routine type of things that she would do, and then he helps her out with those things, like putting coffee in the fridge because she likes iced coffee, and just preparing the little things that she loves throughout the day, and thinking of her, messaging her about certain things because they make him think of her, and just the littlest things that show that she is the whole time part of his thoughts and his routines and his day to day. And it's just an amazing book. I found that it was one of the most romantic books that I've read recently, so this one definitely is coming with me. It's also a sports romance that I absolutely love, and it has fake dating in it as well, which really made the book even better than just what it was. So yeah, everything in this book was perfection for me, so I'm definitely taking this book with me. And then next up we have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I love second chance romances, especially when we have a second chance romance where the two people have been apart for a long period of time and each of them has really worked on themselves to be the best possible person that they can, and then when they are the best versions of themselves and come together, then we see if they're really a match. So this is the type of story that we have here. We have two writers who, when they were teenagers, had a connection with each other, a very turbulent week that they were together. And then many years later, maybe 15, 16 years later, they meet up again and they have an amazing connection, but also a lot to work through because of their pasts and also their current life. So such an amazing story. I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorites of last year, and I definitely would take this one with me. Now, the next one is going to be no surprise to anyone. It's probably one of the most beloved books, I think, in the booktube, romance booktube world. It's A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is, I'm going to say here, I have a couple of books on here that are part of series, but I have intentionally only picked my favorites off of the series, so I'm not going to cheat here and take a whole series with me. I'm just going to take my favorite. So this is an example of that. This is the second book within the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I think that this is the book that really makes everyone's hearts beat faster because we really get to see the connection between Feyre and Rhysand in this book, and we see how much of a badass Feyre is, but at the same time how much Rhysand has incorporated himself into her life and how he is really the one for her. I absolutely love this book, and now that I think about it, I really want to read the graphic audios for them because they just released in Storytel, all of them, so I'm definitely picking those up. But if I have to pick only one of them to take with me, it would be A Court of Mist and Fury. There's no way I'm not taking a Kennedy Ryan book with me. I love Kennedy Ryan, and it's been difficult for me to pick one of the books that she has written because I love everything that she has written, everything that I've read by her. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Real, because if I think about a deserted island and me not having any other kind of medium of entertainment, Real is the type of book that when you read it, you feel like you're watching a biopic movie, like you're watching something happening in front of your eyes like your imagination awakes everything that has been put on page, and it just is the type of story that I definitely want to have with me. It's the type of book that has you feeling all the emotions that the hero and heroine do. It has you feeling everything that is going on in the fictional setting that is within the book, because we have an actress and a director who are trying to make a movie about a character in the 1920s, I think, a singer. So we really have a dual story within the book, and you really get taken into a journey for both of those stories, and I absolutely love that within this book. Kennedy Ryan is just such an amazing author. She has the ability to create stories that really take you on a journey, emotionally, mentally, and also really lets you appreciate everything that she is putting on paper. All the words mean something when she writes them, and I absolutely love that about her. So yeah, real is definitely coming with me. And then when I think about Mariana Zapata's books, one of my all-time favorite authors, I definitely need to take with me my all-time favorite book by this author, which is From Look Off with Love. Ivan is my favorite book boyfriend. I've mentioned this a lot of times on my channel here. I absolutely love the type of hero that he is, where he is first of all presented as an alpha, but he actually is kind of a cinnamon roll on the inside. And this is an original type of kind of hate to love story for me. I don't always appreciate enemies to lovers or hate to love within stories, but this one was done so well, especially because I think such stories need to be told in a slow burn variety, and Mariana Zapata is the queen of slow burn. So this one was an amazing story for me, a sports romance that is not cliched. It's not making me feel like I've read it before, like it's similar to any other type of book. So this one definitely is making my list. Last year, I read Heartless by Elsie Silver, and I think I told you before that I've spoken about this book, that I find that it's a perfect book. I really cannot find anything that doesn't work for me in this book, and when I think about it coming with me to a deserted island, I can only say yes, 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 because it has elements that will make me laugh, elements that will make me swoon. The spice is immaculate, and there's just such an amazing connection between the characters that makes me want to have them together and just view their whole story, like their whole life story, because I just want to live in their world. And I definitely want to take this book with me because it will make me feel all the feels. And then if I think about the Taylor Jenkins Reid story, because y'all know that I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, if I have to take one with me, so I don't think Daisy Jones and the Six, even though it's one of my favorite stories, is going to be the one that I'm going to pick, because I would want to have the audio with me and not the physical copy. When I think about a physical copy, I'm going to have to go with Carrie Soto is Back. I love Carrie Soto is Back. It's the type of story that feels different to me, the type of story that I haven't read before, and the type of story that makes me want Carrie Soto to be a real person that I can meet. Especially also her father. I would love to meet her father. So yeah, it's just the type of story that left me feeling like I want to be in that world as well, that I want to follow this star, that I want to see and meet this tennis star who has such an ambition, such a way of life that is different to the regular type of person. And yeah, Taylor Jenkins Reid has an amazing ability of creating fictional characters who seem real, and I would definitely want to have one of her stories with me. Another story that I definitely want to take with me is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I love K.A. Tucker's books, but this one in particular I absolutely love because it has the type of heroine that I typically wouldn't love, kind of like a spoiled, entitled type of heroine, but she was written so well within this story, and the type of hero that was selected for her was exactly the type of hero that she needs to kind of start on a growing journey to become a better person. And I absolutely love that about this book. So The Simple Wild is definitely coming with me. It's also set in the most atmospheric kind of place in Alaska. Something that, like, I haven't encountered this kind of a setting in very many romance books. So when I read about it in this book, I again wanted to transport myself and see all of this nature and beauty and fly in those planes and just be in that setting. So I definitely love this book and I definitely would take it with me. And then another all-time favorite that I definitely want to take with me is Amour Amour, or right now it's called The Failed Audition by Kristen Becker Ritchie. This book is an all-time favorite of mine because it's set in the circus. I love the circus. I have kind of a bit of a history with circus, not that I've performed myself or anything, but I have a person in my family who is part of a circus academy, and it kind of makes me feel all of the emotions that I know that are present in a circus. And I just love this book. I love the connection between the two characters. We have a Russian acrobat who is part of a Vegas circus show, kind of like a Cirque du Soleil kind of show, and a gymnast who very much wants to audition for one of the shows to be on such a show, but it's difficult to get in, and he decides to coach her so that she can become the best version of herself that she can, so that she can actually get into one of those shows. And it's such an amazing story. I love it. Another book that I would definitely take with me would be The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. I love Brittany Cherry's books because they have the best kind of grumps in the books, and typically they deal with a lot of trauma for the characters that they need to overcome. And typically they meet exactly the right person that can help them through this trauma. And this is one of the books that has the biggest grumps in the book. And he's not only a grump, but very much a recluse and doesn't really want to deal with anyone in society. But then he meets a kindred spirit, someone who has gone just through as much as he has possibly. So they're a very good match for each other to kind of help bridge their collective trauma. So yeah, I really love this book. I read it quite a while ago, so I definitely need to revisit it someday, but I really loved it and I definitely would take it with me. My favorite Penelope Douglas book has to come with me as well. That would be Punk 57. I love Punk 57. It's my favorite book by this author. Unlike a lot of people, they love Birthday Girl or the Corrupt series. I love Punk 57 the most because I think it has a very interesting premise, and I understand the conflict within the book of two people who meet without actually meeting each other and kind of falling for each other through letters that they write to each other. But then when they actually meet in real life, or at least one of the people knows of the other person in real life, and they're like, I don't think that they're the same person that has been writing to me. At least I don't see the same person in front of me. So is it really her who is writing to me, or is this the person who is the real person that I'm seeing in real life? So there's this dilemma, that this conflict that feels real to me. And yeah, I absolutely love this book and I would definitely take it with me. And then when it comes to Mia Sheridan's books, I've told you before that Kyland is my favorite book by Mia Sheridan. But if I have to take a book with me, I would want to take a bit of a lighter book than Kyland. So I would definitely go for Archer's Voice, because it has an amazing swoony romance. It has an amazing kind of grumpy sunshine thing going on. It has a lot of amazing scenes that will make me want to be in the story over and over again. So if I were to have to reread it, I wouldn't get sick of it. So yeah, Archer's Voice is definitely coming with me as well. And then there's a book that I haven't talked about a lot in the past, but I may start talking about it as of now. The book is called When It Rains by Lisa de Jong. This book, I say it de Jong in a Dutch accent. I don't know if that's right. Maybe it's de Jong in American English, but anyway, I speak Dutch, so I'm going with the Dutch version of the pronunciation. The story is a story that deals with a person who also has a terminal illness. So that is something that is very prominent within the story, but it has such an amazing love story in it. It's so romantic and swoony and heartbreaking at times that it definitely has kind of impacted me. Like, even though I read it maybe, I don't know if it's 8 or 9 years ago, it's still very much at the forefront of my mind. And when I think about books that I definitely want to revisit, that's one of them. So I definitely would take this one with me as well. And then a book that isn't really a romance, but has a romance in it, but a book that has always been a favorite of mine is Catching Fire, which is part of the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. This is my favorite book within the Hunger Games series. I think it has the most to bring to the world, to the heroine, to the story, and really made me made me want to be in those games with her. We get introduced to characters that I've fallen in love with, and yeah, that's the book that really stood out to me the most within the Hunger Game world. So I definitely would take that one with me. And then I have two books that are a bit on the lighter side because I would need something to kind of balance out all the emotional stories that I've taken with me in the meantime. I have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I love Love on the Brain. I've talked about it a lot before, so I won't spend too much time on it. It just has a lot of banter, a lot of kind of more alleviating circumstances within the story, a lot more humor. So I definitely would take that one with me to balance out the scales. And then Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I loved that story last year, and it's a sports romance, but it has such an amazing kind of rivals to friends to lovers situation going on. I absolutely loved it and I would definitely take it with me. I have two more books left. One of them being Twist by Lucia Franco. I love the Off Balance series by Lucia Franco. I read it at the start of this year, but I think I will always remember this series. And I think that the fourth book is the one which has the most growth for the characters and the most important scenes for the whole story. And I think if I were to take that one with me, the whole story would be with me within that book. So I definitely would take that one with me. It's a forbidden romance, age gap romance between a coach, a gymnastics coach, and an athlete, and I absolutely love it. And then we have the last book, which is possibly again on my all-time favorites list. It's Oh You're Perfect by Colleen Hoover. I think that one of the most difficult tropes to do is the marriage in trouble trope. And I think that when it's done well, as it is in this book, I think it's really an all-time favorite story for me because I always love it to see how people who have gotten into a relationship, who love each other, we see the progression of their love, we see that they want to be partners for life, but sometimes life throws shit at you. You can go through a lot of difficult situations, and would you choose the easy way out and split up, or would you want to work towards some kind of a resolution, some kind of a overcoming of the obstacles, and how would you do that, and how would you want to remain true to your own self, but at the same time save your relationship? So it's difficult to do, but within this story I loved how it's done, so I definitely would want to see this one with me as well. These were the 20 books that I would definitely take with me to a remote island, to an island where I would need company, and these books are the best kind of company that I can imagine. So let me know if you have other books that you would take with you to a remote island. And yeah, I just love each and every one of these books for very many different reasons, whether it be the tropes, the way that they were written, the emotions that they made me feel. So please recommend to me what kind of books would stand out to you and which ones you would take with you. I love doing this video, so please check out Chandler's video as well. It's linked down below, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to follow my content. I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Take care and happy reading. Bye bye.